Right now, in what used to be called Constantinople, a man is waking up. Not to an alarm. Not to a phone buzzing on a nightstand. To a voice echoing across the rooftops. It is 1453. The Ottomans just took the greatest city in the world. And somewhere in its stone streets, a fabric merchant is starting his day. His name doesn't survive history. Most of theirs didn't. But what he did, every single hour, has been recorded in guild documents, court records, and the diaries of travelers who couldn't believe what they were seeing. So let's walk through it. Far before sunrise, the muezzin climbs the minaret by feel. He opens his mouth, and the entire city reorganizes itself around the sound. This is the Ottoman clock. No batteries. No alarm. A city of 400,000 people. Our merchant wakes immediately. Washes his hands. His face. His feet. In that order. He walks to the mosque. Every man on the street. All facing the same direction. All saying the same thing. For 10 minutes, the city is synchronized. The bazaar opens at dawn. Not 9 a.m. There is no commute. Our merchant lives 2 streets from his shop. His shop is the width of 2 men standing side by side. He doesn't own it. He rents it from a religious foundation, called a waqf. The rent goes to fund the mosque, the school, and the soup kitchen. He unrolls his fabric. Silk from Persia. Cotton from Egypt. Wool from Anatolia. An apprentice sits beside him. A boy. He watches everything. He is not allowed to touch the money yet. Ottoman merchants were not allowed to compete with each other. If your neighbor hadn't made his first sale yet, you were expected to send customers to him. Price gouging was illegal. Undercutting your neighbor was illegal. Selling fake goods was illegal. And the guild had inspectors. They walked the bazaar unannounced. If you were caught cheating, you were expelled. Publicly. Permanently. In 1481, a guild inspector named Ahmed walked into the bazaar and found a silk merchant selling Egyptian cotton labeled as Chinese silk. Ahmed didn't arrest him. He called a gathering. Every silk merchant in the bazaar. The master of the guild. 2 representatives from the mosque. The fraudulent merchant stood in the center. His peers were the judge. His peers were the jury. They didn't let him stay. He walked out of the bazaar. For the last time. While his former neighbors watched in silence. Nobody said anything. Nobody needed to. Midday. The muezzin calls again. The bazaar stops. Not slows down. Stops. Every merchant locks his shop. The same thing that happened at dawn happens again. You don't have this. Your lunch break is not this. The afternoon? A customer wants fabric for a wedding dress. They do not agree on a price immediately. The first price is not the real price. The second price is not the real price either. This back and forth. It is not rude. It is expected. A deal without negotiation means someone was cheated. You can still watch this happen. In the same stone corridors today. Walk 20 feet in any direction. And the language changes. Turkish. Greek. Armenian. Arabic. Persian. Italian. The Ottomans didn't just tolerate this. They organized it. Christian jewelers worked next to Muslim silk merchants. Worked next to Jewish money changers. The system was designed to make it work. Regardless of whether they did. Sunset. The muezzin calls again. The bazaar closes. Because night is for family. Our merchant walks home. But not directly. He stops at the hammam. The hammam is not just where you wash. It is the only place where social rank disappears. Dinner is with family. Bread. Lentil soup. Roasted vegetables. Olive oil. Meat only if it was a good week. After dinner, neighbors visit. They sit on rugs. There is no coffee yet. That arrives in Istanbul in about 50 years. There is just conversation. Candlelight. And the sound of a city going quiet. One final call from the minaret. He prays. He sleeps. Tomorrow it starts again. 5 prayers. 1 guild. 1 borrowed shop. 1 apprentice watching everything. This man never owned property. Never had a pension. Never had a weekend. But he knew every person on his street. By name and full history. The Grand Bazaar still stands. The same stone floor. The same corridors. 600 years later. That merchant's shop is probably still open.